here are the 19 books I read in October 2025. Hi, my name is Talia, and welcome back to my channel. It is time for my monthly reading wrap-up. Let me know what books you read in October in the comments, and book titles, authors, how I read these books, and all of the book events I'll be a part of in the near future are in the description box. And hint, hint, I will be in Chicago on Sunday. Description box. First book is Huntsman, a Mafia romance by Naima Simone. This is book 1 in the Hunted Kingdom series. So if you're in the DMV, Naima and I will actually be in conversation at Scrawl Books tomorrow, November 1st. Starts at 7 p.m. RSVP is free. Books will be available for purchase and signing on site. I'll have that linked in the description if you want to attend. So this is Naima Simone's latest book, and I've talked about Naima Simone on here. I read Church Girl earlier this year, and I'm obsessed. Okay, if anything, I will be asking her questions about Church Girl if we have time. But this is a Snow White fairy tale retelling. Yeah, it's a retelling, and I don't do a lot of retellings, so I can't even think of other retellings I've read. This is a Mafia romance, black and brown characters. Our FMC is a Mafia princess, and she is looking to avenge the death of her mother, the murder of her mother. And that's where Malachi comes in. I cannot wait to talk to Naima about this tomorrow. And she just announced book 2 in the series, which will be out next year, Ember. So that is already available for pre-order. Next book is The Man of Many Fathers, Life Lessons Disguised as a Memoir by Roy Wood Jr. So first, Chicago. I will be in your city on Sunday. I'll be talking to Roy Wood Jr. for his book tour at the House of Blues Chicago. First half is comedy show. Next half is book talk. I'll be a part of that next half because, baby, we're not a comedian. But yeah, Roy Wood Jr.'s team reached out to me and is like, do you want to come to Chicago? I'm like, yes. So yeah, I'll be in Chicago for 24 hours literally, because the night before I'm gonna be with Naima Simone in Northern Virginia. But I am super duper excited about this. This is one of the best memoirs I've read this year. Of course, it's funny because we're dealing with a comedian, but one, I learned so much about Roy Wood Jr. and the junior part. I did not know that his father was one of the most prominent civil rights journalists during civil rights. And this memoir is dedicated to his son. I want to say his son is about 9-10. And he wrote this book, talking about all of the men in his life that have shaped who he is, right? And although Roy's father was this prolific public figure, well-respected figure, he wasn't the greatest father. So Roy unpacks that in this book and hopes to pass this along to his son. Next book is Body Language 2 by Netra Antoinette. This is the second half to Body Language. First half came out earlier this year. Not earlier this year. It came out in August, September. Anyways, if you read the first Body Language, you know that you were left on a cliffhanger. So this is the continuation, the conclusion, that cliffhanger we were left on. How do you even come back from that? And I cannot wait to talk to Netra Antoinette on Wednesday for Talia's Book Nook. She is my guest on November 5th. So see you on TikTok Live at 8 p.m. We're going to be talking body count, body language. Her first traditional release is coming out next year. I cannot wait to talk to her. I really, really enjoy her writing. Next book is The Glistening, a group project by Aria, Daze. And when we say Aria, Daze, okay, we talking nasty freaky. So this is low-key a follow-up or an extension of Group Trip. I read that book earlier this year. I've talked about it earlier this year. This is low-key an extension of that because it's the same universe, friend group, etc. So our FMC is, living in her small town. She's just worried about working and taking care of her aging grandmother. And grandma's like, baby, you need to find you somebody. And our FMC finds 2 somebodies. Baby, this was fate. This was fate. And I'm going to leave it at that because it has this magical, not paranormal, magical element. You read it for yourself. And this is a novella, so it's not even long. Next is Breaking the Rules by Aubrey Pynn. This is a Los Oceania love story. If you're familiar with Aubrey Pynn and her fictitious worlds, you know about Los Oceania. Y'all know I love Maybe for the Summer. That was one of my top reads of 2024. So you know what Los Oceania is. Our FMC has her heart broken, okay? She is betrayed in the worst way. And after that betrayal, she is like, you know what? I'm just going to stack my paper and it's F these men. She is not trying to deal with men. She's not trying to get her heart broken again. And our MMC also dealing with very deep betrayal. And that betrayal brings him back home to Los Oceania. And that's where our couple meets, but they're low-key connected. He's just like, listen, I just need to go back home, be traded to their MLB team. He's a baseball player and just focus on that. I don't got time for heartbreak either. But yeah, they have all these rules for themselves and they're not sticking to the rules. Next book is When She's Broken by BriAnn Danae. Y'all know we love BriAnn Danae over here. So October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and BriAnn Danae did like a promotion last week or like a freebie last week for this book. So anytime an author has a freebie, like I download it. Like whether or not I read it, I don't know. I just want to download it because it's free. But I decided to download it and then go on to read it like almost immediately. This book is about a woman and a mother who is in a very abusive relationship. So definitely check your triggers. Our FMC, she needs out of this relationship. That's where our MMC comes in. He, you know, is dealing with transition in his life as well. But he and her used to know each other back in the day, and he is just very adamant about being her protector, and he does that. Okay, so the next two books, Enigma and Awakening, are both Winston Hill novels by C.M. Barnes. She is a new to me author through these books, and baby, all the book girls are talking about Enigma. Definitely Enigma, because that's the first book, and its follow-up Awakening. The next book, I forgot the name of it. That's coming out on Christmas, so that will be in my December TBR. Baby, after we open gifts and eat food on Christmas, I'm gonna be sad. Anyways, Enigma and Awakening. You've probably heard about this if you follow other Black romance, erotica, book talkers, bookstagrammers, book threaders. Everyone's talking about this book because, baby, it is filthy. It is filthy. And I love it. I love it. Okay, baby, we are not a prude over here. We are not a prude over here. If you're familiar with my spice rubric, and I talk about this on Talia's Book Nook, this book, I'm going to give it a 5. From 1 being vanilla to Scotch Bonnet being, oh my goodness, this is a 5. Okay, this is probably the spiciest books I've read this year. Baby, these people gets down. There is character development, there is story, but baby. So both of these books are why choose romances. These people are grown, which I love, by the way. Like, these characters are like in their 40s, but baby. And listen, I ate these books up. Next book is The Ghost of Gwendolyn Montgomery by Clarence A. Haynes. So this is a ghost fiction. Yeah, this is a ghost fiction story. How do I describe this? So one, our main characters are Afro-Latino or Latinx. And I also think that's important because the spiritual, magical, paranormal elements are rooted in, you know, Santeria, voodoo, those spiritual, religious traditions, right? So we're not dealing with like westernized Christianity, no. Which I love, by the way. It's set in New York, so that also makes the former make sense. And our main character is a very popular publicist, a very high-powered publicist. And all of these things start happening to her, like her PR events are getting sabotaged. A lot of crazy stuff is happening. And that is because there is like a break between the real world and the spiritual world, and Gwendolyn is going to have to be the person to fix it. And in fixing that, we learn about who she really is, what she's really capable of. And she's enlisted by the help of her estranged cousin. I really love the representation in this. Next book is To Love and Protect by Sin. So I want to say this is my first read by this author. And this was a cute, quick read. It's not a novella, but I want to say it's less than 200 pages. Our FMC, she has a bum for a boyfriend, and it comes to a breaking point. And in leaving this bum, she meets our main character, who is an underground boxer. And it's pretty much love at first sight for him. So he finds a way to employ her, because she's not just going off with this stranger man having just left this other relationship. He tricks her, not tricks. But he finds a way to be and remain in close proximity to her. So I'm working on a list of like unserious MMCs, like MMCs who are low-key unserious. This is going to be a part of that list. Next book is Made for Love by Gray Huffington. So this is a novella. It's a short. And if you're part of Gray Huffington's like paid subscriber community, this book has been out, but it recently became available on Kindle Unlimited. So I downloaded the ebook immediately. This is actually the last book I read. We're dealing in a world where there is a pandemic, right? And if you flash back to February, March of 2020, you remember what it was like when we were like, oh, this is about to happen. So in that world, a pandemic is about to happen and we don't know what it's going to be. We all went into it thinking it's going to be 2 weeks. These main characters also go into it being like, oh, it's just going to be a couple of weeks. And these two characters are basically sheltering in place, thinking that, oh, this is going to be like a couple of weeks, right? But the thing is, they're sheltering in place together, but it's not like a couple dynamic because she is his house cleaner. Next book is Kwasim 2, Season 4 Inferno God series by Jaquel J. Y'all know I be on Kwasim's neck. You know I've been on Kwasim's neck. Baby, he been playing games with Blair. But for some reason in Kwasim 2, it finally clicks for Kwasim. He's like, I cannot be without this woman. I love this woman. I have to get over myself and I have to allow myself to be with this woman. He finally has the epiphany, y'all. We are dealing in the aftermath of something pretty tragic. So baby, you know that whole universe. You come for them and the people they love. Vengeance is on the menu. Next book is Yes, Professor Hendricks. There's an exclamation after the yes by Mary C. Kim. So this is a new to me author, but I started seeing like my peers talk about this book online and they're like, yeah, this man is unhinged. And yes, this man is unhinged. So in this novella, we have a single mother of like a third grader and she accidentally emails chapters of her spicy book, she's a writer, to her daughter's teacher. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Next book is August Lane by Regina Black. So I've been trying to read this book for months because everyone has talked about how this is one of the best books they've read this year. And I must agree. I don't know if it's going to make my top 10 for 2025, but this is definitely deserving of all of the acclaim it has received. So this takes place in a small town in Arkansas. And from this small town in Arkansas emerges, or had emerged because she's a legend now, this Black country singer. She is coming home for a concert because she's now being inducted into a Hall of Fame. Back in this small town is the daughter who she low-key abandoned, and returning back to town for this concert is the childhood love of the daughter who also stole her song. Baby, this is a lot, and there's a lot to unpack. Next book is Outro by Tannen. So Tannen is a legend in the Black romance erotica streets, but this is my first time reading her. So her birthday was recently, and I caught wind of her dropping a birthday book, right? It seemed like she hadn't published in a long time, but she's like, you know what? It's my birthday. Here's a little something. So this is a novella. I don't even want to spoil this for you, but I will say it's a poly. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Or does it? Next book is The Reformatory by Tanana Reeve-Dew. Y'all know I've been trying to read this book forever, and I finally got to it. And what lit the fire under my butt to read this book is because I was supposed to go to LA last week. That was going to be my birthday month destination this year, but given the shutdown and all of the instability with air travel, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want to risk it. Let's cancel. I went to Richmond instead. You've been seeing the Richmond content if you follow me elsewhere. Anyways, I was reading this because on Sunday in LA, I was supposed to go to an author brunch with Tanana Reeve-Dew. Wonderful book. Wonderful book. If you are a fan of The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, Pulitzer Prize winning novel, you will be a fan of this. This is a historical fiction based on the same school that The Nickel Boys is based on. A young Black boy finds himself being sentenced to this reform school. And everyone's been talking about this book this year, although it came out a couple of years ago, because people say that this is a part of the Sinners syllabus. So when we're thinking about like the ghost, paranormal, magical elements that are in Sinners, they're present in this book as well. Next book is Trick Me, Treat Me by the Tasha Marie. So this is my first read by the author, and this is one of the few Halloween books I read this year. I didn't do a lot of Halloween reading this year. Our FMC is a lady of the night, and she gets booked on Halloween night, and the appointment has to happen on Halloween. Our MMC is not all the way human, okay? Next book is The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. So this is a new release. Everyone's been talking about it. Baby, you know Tiffany D. Jackson. She writes these stories that are ripped from the headlines. She's basically the Dick Wolf of young adult, new adult fiction, okay? The Scammer takes place on the campus of a fictitious HBCU, basically Howard University. It's literally in DC. This is Howard, okay? And our FMC is coming to Howard as a freshman against her parents' wishes. But Jordan doesn't care. There is a reason why Jordan is going to Franklin University. And baby, you are about to find out. The girls in this suite at this dorm on this HBCU campus find themselves in a cult. This is the wildest ride. And again, if you know how Tiffany D. Jackson writes, this was crazy. So last book, and I'm glad this is last. I listed all of these books in alphabetical order with the exception of the books related to book events I'm going to be a part of. Thank God this is last, because this is unlike anything you've heard me talk about. So the last book is Buttercream, a Why Choose Hugh Cow romance. So Hugh Cow, Hucow, is a hybrid of the words human and cow. This is book 3 in the Milk for the Minotaurs series. And as you see by the cover, we have a human in the center, and we have 3 minotaurs. So these fictional, mythical creatures. Baby, these minotaurs live in seclusion. They've identified this lady who is literally there by like accident. And it's like, no, you're going to be our new cow. You're going to be our new cow. You are going to be one of our new feeding sources. Okay. And essentially humans are cows. We are heifers. We are heifers. Your bosom. These are udders. Oh, I'm just going to stop. But baby, this is a very specific type of kink erotica. You know what I'm putting down. Happy reading. So yeah, that's everything I read in October. See you for the next one. Bye.